1038.
James and Daniel, great to meet you both.
Nice to meet you, thank you.
I was really pleasantly surprised by this film because I thought I knew everything.
You two would have thought it was going to be a pilot.
Yeah, no, but it was actually good. No, but I thought I knew everything about Victor Frankenstein. Right. How much did you guys know going in?
Yeah, not a huge amount. I mean, I'd read obviously the script and I'd seen Young Frankenstein, but I hadn't, unlike James, I hadn't read the book and I hadn't had a huge amount of contact with the films at all. So it was really, that was what, I suppose some people have been asking, like, were you worried about living up to the pressure of previous versions? And I think maybe it was useful that I wasn't that familiar with them because it meant it seemed fresh for us as well.
I'd never seen a Frankenstein film, so I was
really?
like liberated. But I'd read the book and I read that again. And this film is definitely drawing on a lot of the essence of that book, but it also goes off in its own direction and really kind of creates its own path to walk. So no, I didn't feel any pressure at all, but I did feel like I wanted to be able to satisfy audiences what they expect to see from a Frankenstein movie, with some of the craziness and the mad scientistness and the, you know, there's certain things you need to hit, and then as long as you hit them well and hard, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's a very physical film, right? So I would have thought you would have been stressed about the stunts.
Never.
But I heard you were stressed about the hair. Why was that stressful?
Oh, you weren't stressed about the hair. I was stressed about the hair because I was dealing with this lark.
What?
I was dealing with this lark. And so yeah, you know, I had full respect for you for having long hair. I think even if I were a woman, I'd just be like, chop this off. Like, just dealing with it, washing it in a certain way, realising that if you get it wet, it changes. If you dry
but there's
it,
so many options.
Oh,
you can wear
there's
it.
not though. There's like curtains parted or closed, and that was sort of all I ended up with. So I was definitely happy to know. And also, as you say, stunts are more like, stunts are just fun because you don't have to worry about the acting when you do stunts, because if you're jumping off something, you're going to make the expression that you would make in that real situation.
Well, I heard that you said that you, James, went in for it really hard, right? But when you are doing stunts and going in for it hard, are you not scared? Forget about your own safety, right? But for the safety of your co-star, are you scared you're not going to injure them?
No, I feel like I'm quite good at.
Yeah, like he's really good at. Like when I made, like, I feel like that comment I made has sort of devolved into James beating me up on set, which is not.
Because he was black and blue and stuff.
James is very good at being very physical, but also very controlled, and we've both done a fair amount of that kind of work. So we sort of trust that the other person, and you trust that you'll get out of the way if something goes wrong, or you just know you have that sort of sense of trust, and it's much easier after that. And
I have this thing as well where, like, I think, like, if I'm so used to fighting people and not hurting them, that if I actually got in a real fight, I'd be like, and like constantly be missing their faces and. Do you know what I mean? But looking really good.
Oh, you look great. Great for the photos. You two play very iconic characters in this film. In many people's lives, you're actually very iconic characters thanks to Harry Potter and X-Men. What's your everyday life like?
My everyday life is so iconic. It's more iconic than his.
Are you able to walk down the street without getting
but
harassed?
every time I walk down the street, I'm like, I'm an icon! Check out me icon! Not really. Yeah, not really.
Yeah. No, I mean, I put a cap on and walk around. It's not. I think there's some places that, like, if I was going to a very crowded somewhere, then then I might be a little cautious about doing that. But generally speaking, sporting events and concerts and theatre are great because everyone's faced in one direction.
Yeah.
So as long as you're in the other direction, it's perfect.
And in Dublin, you've had lots of fun as well.
Yes, that is true.
And also, it's easy to make icons when you stick them on like a mountain or something like that, and they're a big, huge statue, like the one in Rio. Or it's easy to make an icon when they're in a movie and you're shot from underneath, or you're shot with cool light and you get blood and all that, and you're like, and you're a hero and all that kind of stuff. But then when people meet you in real life, they're like, oh, how you doing? You're like, oh yeah, I'm fine. How you doing? Yeah, good to see you. And you're like so sort of interesting.
Well, we find you very interesting, and you have been in this business for quite a while now. What's the best piece of advice you've received? Well, we find you very interesting, and you have been in this business for quite a while now. What's the best piece of advice you've received?
My best piece of advice was from my dad when I first started doing films without him chaperoning me on set all the time, and he just said, there'll always be somebody being waited for on a film set. Try and make sure it's never you, and if you do that, you'll rarely be anyone's problem, which is great.
Brilliant piece of advice.
Yeah.
But before I'd heard that, probably something my wife said to me, which is like, the best piece of advice you could ever use in any single situation in life that can apply to you everywhere is like, to make sure you turn up. Just turn up. You can kind of apply that to anything.
Yeah.
James and Daniel, thank you for turning up and not walking today.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Nice to meet you
Segued.
both.
Spin 1038.